indeterminate form. Very easy. Now the question comes, what is indeterminate form? Suppose if a function is there and you are applying limits on that, then instead of a finite value, you got an infinite value, means non-existing value. That time that is called indeterminate form. Okay, that is the wholesale summary of an indeterminate form. So suppose a function, if you're getting in the form of 0 raised to the power infinity. So we can't write 0 raised to power infinity, that is non-existing value. If I write infinity, if you get after putting limit, you get infinity minus infinity. That is also non-existing, because you know from infinity, even if you subtract something, if you divide something, or if you add something, comes infinity only. Again, non-existing value. So those type of value after putting the limit we get are called indeterminate form. Then how to find the your finite value, finite limit? In that we do, there is a one method to solve those kind of method, that is called L'Hospital's rule. Just acknowledge me once. Can you see my screen? I have shared my screen. Can you see it? PPT slides. Just acknowledge me, please. Any of you? Okay, fine. Thank you, Suman. Okay. So let's start today with L'Hospital's rule. What the L'Hospital's rule says. See, if suppose limit x tends to a I am telling because this is not fixed whether it's x tends to 0, x tends to infinity, or x tends to 2. It can be any value x tends to. So that's why if limit x tends to a to a some function, function can be fx, function can be of fx into gx, or otherwise fx divided by gx. That type of function can be. So what it is applying means, if the function is tending to the value of x to a. So if we do x tends to a, we put that a value in the function, and after putting that value in the function, what we are getting. If suppose that is a finite value, no need to worry, directly we have applied our continuous function. But if that is in infinity, non-finite value, that time we apply L'Hospital's rule. It's very easy, nothing we need to do. Just we differentiate the given function. Suppose function is in the form of fx by gx. So what you will do? Applying L'Hospital's rule in the next step, limit x tends to a, f dash x differentiate with respect to x divided by g dash x differentiate with respect to x again. One more thing, these fx and gx are differentiated individually. Okay, fx is individually differentiated with respect to x, and denominator gx is differentiated. It is not like a u by v. Generally, function if u by v is there, we differentiate with the formula of v u dash minus u v dash divided by v square. It's not like that. You will not apply that formula. Here, fx will be differentiated separately, and denominator will be differentiated separately. After that, the limit, whatever it was, like x tends to a, that value of x equal to a, we will put into the function. Again, we will check whether now we are getting a finite value or infinite value. If it is finite, we have got and we have achieved our mission. But if suppose it is again infinite, again we apply L'Hospital's rule. So this is not defined that only this number of times we should apply L'Hospital's rule. You will continue, you will keep applying this L'Hospital's rule until we get a finite value. Okay, that's it. This is indeterminate form in your second syllabus that I have summarized theoretically. So I will start taking, like here, they are asking what are the types of indeterminate form. So this I told you, like if fx and gx are two functions, okay, and if you are having fx by gx, then after applying L'Hospital's rule, those are differentiated individually, f dash x divided by g dash x. Now the what are the types? If the function after applying the limit x tends to a, you are getting this type, whether it's a 0 raised to the power infinity, if it is infinity raised to the power infinity, 0 by 0, infinity by infinity, infinity minus infinity, or infinity raised to the power 0. If any type of these six forms you get after applying limit, that time that is called indeterminate form. And in these cases, we apply L'Hospital's rule. So the problems we will take by all of these forms, okay, one by one. So here we start. These are the problems. These are some problems. I will elaborate here around 1 to 2 problems, and after that it will be up to you. I will share these slides as well, like the before I have done with you. So it will be your work, homework, to complete or to practice on them. So first I will start this. 1 second. Who is that? Don't get late, students. Be on the time. Yeah. So here, first problem. If you see, limit x tends to 0. Function is x e raised to power x minus log 1 plus x divided by x square. First of all, we apply limit x tends to 0. Means wherever x is, you will put a 0. So carefully if you put it, 0 into e raised to power 0 is 0. First term is 0 minus log 1 plus 0 is log 1. Log 1 is again 0. So 0 minus 0, that is 0, divided by x, 0. 0 square is 0. So means you are getting 0 by 0. So if you remember, 0 by 0 is indeterminate form, because 0 by 0 is not having a finite value. We don't know what comes after 0 by 0. Okay. I tell you once, if you do 0 by 1, answer is 0. But if you do 1 by 0, answer is not 0, infinity. So that's why 0 is also undefined value. So this is, you will write indeterminate form 0 by 0. 1 mark is will be of the form. If you show what type of form is this, then only you will get 1 mark. Before applying the L'Hospital's rule, you need to show what type of indeterminate form is this. Okay. So I come to the solution here. If you see here, directly they have written 0 by 0 form. If 0 by 0 is form is there, we will apply L'Hospital's rule. So you will mention here, though it's not mentioned here, but you will do in the exam applying L'Hospital's rule. L'Hospital's rule means here first function, if you see in numerator and another function in denominator. So x square directly differentiation is 2x. And this will do in numerator x into e raised to the power x, first function into second function. So if I differentiate first e raised to power x, so x into e raised to power x plus. Now I differentiate x, differentiation of x is 1. So e raised to power x minus log of x we know 1 by x. So log of 1 plus x will be 1 by 1 plus x. That's it. After that, again if you put c in denominator, it's 0. X is there. So if you put 0 will come. Directly at a glance, you can see this is 0 by 0 form. But no worries. You can do it in your answer sheet. You can show how you got 0 by 0 form. Because this is 0 plus 1 minus, sorry, e raised to power 0 is 1 minus 1 by 1, 0, 1. So 1 minus 1 will be 0. So 0 by 0. Ultimately, you will get 0 by 0 form. Here they have written. Again, you apply L'Hospital's rule. So you will have to mention again applying L'Hospital's rule. Here again differentiate this x into e raised to power x. So x into e raised to power x plus differentiating x to e raised to power x plus e raised to power x is again e raised to power x. So they have written together 2 e raised to power x. Now here 1 by 1 plus x differentiation will be minus is already there. So plus 1 by 1 plus x whole square, and 2x differentiation is 2. Now see there is a trick also. If you limit is x tends to 0, if you see the term of x in denominator, that till then it will be indeterminate form. For making determinate form, x should be removed from the denominator. So if you see here in this step, x is not there in denominator, right? Only 2 is there. Now if you will put the limit x tends to 0, you will get definitely a finite value. So start putting here 0 plus 2 e raised to power 0 means 2 only, plus 1 by 1 plus 0 whole square is 1 divided by 2. So ultimately 3 by 2 is the value. That's it. This is the question. Second question was this. These set of questions is having different various types. So here whatever is left unsolved, you will do yourself. It's very easy, and then it out. You can ask me anytime. You are always welcome. So next type of problem is limit x tends to 0, tan x by x raised to power 1 by x square. Okay. So if you put in place of x, if you put 0, if you see here, 10 0 we know is 0 divided by 0. So 0 by 0 form clearly. And they, that also 1 by 0, yani infinity. That means 0 by 0 raised to power infinity form, completely indeterminate form. So here, one more thing I need to mention here. If suppose the term, if you see in the power, these kind of problems are solved by taking log. It's your choice. You can direct differentiate, but will be more complicated. So to avoid complicacy, what we do, we take log. We know that because log m raised to the power n is n log m. So that's why if I take log on both sides, this term will come before 1 by x squared, log 10x by x. Okay. So you need to remember, if in the power that of x is there, we will take log. This is particular one of the type of indeterminate form. That time we will take log. So applying the limit, you apply the limit. So like I told you, 0 by 0 is 0 only. So log 0 is minus infinity, 0 by 0 form. Apply L'Hospital's rule. How would you apply L'Hospital's rule? Here numerator will be this, log 10x by x will be numerator, divided by x square will be denominator. So if you see here, we have differentiated x square, that is 2x, and differentiating this individually. So log of x is 1 by x, so 1 by 10x by x becomes x by 10x. And after that, differentiating 10x by x by using u by v formula. X square x into differentiation of 10x is sec square x minus 10x into differentiation of x, that is 1. So x sec square x minus 10x by x square. After simplifying means this term, they take it inside the bracket. So becomes x square cancelled out, sec square x by 10x minus 10x cancelled out this time. So 10x by x means after some simplification, you can do it by pencil, we will get this value. Okay. After taking this value, again if we check, we will get 0 by 0 form again. So again we will differentiate. So I told you, till we get definite value, we will keep applying L'Hospital's rules. So they have applied, again they have differentiated. Since in the denominator you can see x cube term is there, so around 3 times we need to do differentiate it again and again. And ultimately we got log y equal to 1 by 3. So why will be? Because originally we need to find out value of y, not log y. So for y, we need to take anti-log. So e raised to power 1 by 3. Second question is this, only infinity by infinity form, simple. Yeah, the different pattern, these were the simple one only. You need to remember when 0 by 0 form is simple, L'Hospital's rule apply, differentiation. If in second type is, if a power is there, you will take log, second type. Third type is, like I told you, infinity minus infinity form, this type. Okay. In that case, what we do, direct don't apply L'Hospital's rule. We tried to, if you see here, two terms are there, 1 by sin x, one first term, and second term is 1 by n. First, we are supposed to convert it into one function. How we can make it? By taking, by subtracting or adding, by taking LCM. So I can do it here, sin x, it is x. By taking LCM is x sin x and x minus sin x. After that, simple only. Now, if you see, this is 0 by 0 form, same like earlier. Just you need to remember, if infinity minus infinity or 0 minus 0 form is there, we need to add or subtract those terms by taking LCM. That's it. After that, simple L'Hospital's rules they have applied here. Okay. Next question is again power. So power is there, we'll take log. So there are fixed terms here. If f by g is there, simple L'Hospital's rule. If f raised to the power g is there, we need to take log. If f minus g is there, we need to add or subtract by taking LCM. That's it. There are the three types of indeterminate form. So these are the more problems. For those, you need to practice on them. Okay. Here it's looking complicated, but it is same again. If you see here, fx by gx. So same only, nothing different. These are the basic problems. Other pages are of problems only, but the concepts I have elaborated. So any doubt you can ask me. Yeah, please go ahead if any doubt is there. Please ask me if any doubt. Any doubt, students? Okay, fine. Good that you don't have doubt. So this PPT, uh, after some time only, I will share with you. Many questions are there. Yeah, definitely, that's what I'm telling you. This PPT I will share in the group. Many problems are there. So your work is to solve them honestly. Okay. It's not because I'm not asking you for any homework. It will be completely honestly for yourself. You need to do that. So that was the indeterminate form. After that, next term comes here. I'm continuing because that was very small topic. One second, let me share with you what will be the next topic I'm going to take. Next topic I will take in the same module, that is partial differentiation. Very important. See, first of all, you should be clear what is the normal differentiation derivative or what is the partial derivative. If suppose one is dependent variable and another terminology is independent variable. So always you have studied that y is depending on x. So we can differentiate y easily with respect to x. That is called normal differentiation. But what if dependent variable is one, but independent variable are more than one? Like z is depending x and y. So here z is depending variable 1, but x and y are independent variable 2. In that case, z can be differentiated with respect to x as well as with respect to y. So that time we use word partially. So partially with respect to x, it can be differentiated. Same partially with respect to y, it can be differentiated. Okay, so that is called partial differentiation. So beginning question are very easy. First, the simple differentiation is denoted by D, but partial differentiation is denoted by del. This is the symbol del y del x. And I think you guys use word do. So generally I use this del. Okay. So like here, find the first and second partial derivatives of z equal to this. First derivative means one more thing. Like here, z is differentiating. Z is can be differentiated partially with respect to x and y. So remember, when you are differentiating partially with respect to x, then y will be treated as constant. Always remember. And when you are differentiating partially with respect to y, that time x will be treated as constant. Okay. So if we need to find out first derivative, so del z by del x will be 3x square plus this will be 0 minus 3ay, and del z by del y 0 plus 3y square minus 3ax. This is first derivative. If you need to find out second derivative, so there are three second derivatives. What? Del square z by del x square means del z by del x, again you will differentiate with respect to x. So will become del square z by del x square. Same del square z by del y square. How you would do? Differentiating with respect to y, del z by del y. And third second derivative will be del square z by del x del y. So always remember, if del z by del y is there and you are differentiating with respect to x, or if del z by del x is there, you are differentiating with respect to y. Okay. So both are equal. It will be completely your choice whether you differentiate the with respect to x, the yth derivative, or with respect to y, the xth derivative. So both are equal only. So here, if you see here, so if you see del square z by del y del x and del square z by del x del y is always equal. This is universal truth. It's not like if suppose you are getting different value, then definitely you are wrong somewhere. So these are the basic differentiation. We will not go into the depth, very basic differentiation. Just you need to remember, like here, if they are differentiating with respect to x, y will be treated as constant. And if you are differentiating with respect to y, x will be here. U is depending on three derivatives, x, y, and z. Okay. means more than one. It should be more than one. Then any number of independent variables can be there. So here if you see independent variables x, y and z, so u can be differentiated del u by del x, del u by del y, del u by del z. Here they have differentiated, and this basic problems are there. If you see here, if u is equal to this, show that this nothing is there. U is depending on x, y and t. Okay, so we can find out del u by del x by differentiating this term only, because these will be constant. Del u by del y, we are differentiating this term only because these two are constant, and del u by del t by differentiating this term only, these are the constants. And then finding out their second derivative. And if you put in LHS, you should get RHS. That is called proved. So these are the basic questions on them. See here. Many problems are there, solved only. You just remember the fact that like here, z is depending on two functions f and phi, and f and phi are the functions of x, c, and x and t. C is like a constant. So we will differentiate. Z can be differentiated with respect to x and with respect to t. So here they are differentiated. When you are differentiating with respect to x, treat t as a constant. When you are differentiating with respect to t, treat x as a constant. That's it. If you remember this fact, you can differentiate very easily. So very easy unit this is, this module, and very much scoring. I remember my students that best score in second IA only because of this unit. So this is the partial differentiation, not the complete, but the basic. This was the starting. I open the next slide. Wait. Next slide is of total derivatives and partial derivatives, composite functions. Here, this is also very easy. Now the question comes, ma'am, what is the total derivative? What is the composite functions? See, in the last slide, what I have opened, that was directly like u was depending on x, y, and z directly. But if u is not depending directly on x and y, but y with some mediator, means like u is depending on x and t, for example, and x and t are depending on another variable z and y and z. Getting? Means again I try to explain. Like simple example I tell you. Suppose u is depending on what should I say, s and t. Leave x, s and t. Suppose u is depending on s and t, and s and t are depending on another x. Okay, but I need to find out u, differentiation of u with respect to x. Means first function is depending on second, second is depending on third, but I need to find out the differentiation of first function with respect to third function. Getting? So there is a mediator. What was that? Second function, s and t1. Okay, so that was a mediator. So this type of function means function of function is called composite of function. Means the dependent variable is not directly dependent on the independent variable, while it is depending on some intermediate variable, and intermediate variable is depending on independent variable. Some mediator is there. That time it is called composite functions. These are called. Okay. And then to find, like I gave you example, u is depending s and t, and s and t are depending on x. Then to find del u by del x is the total derivative. Okay. So how to differentiate those kind of functions? Like I told you, if we need to find out du by dx, but u is not directly depending on x, so I need to take help of s and t, because I can differentiate u with respect to x, s, and with respect to t. So I can find out del u by del s into del s by del x plus del u by del t into del t by del x. You need to just write down what the derivative you can get. Like here in the example, I show you here whatever I have dictated. This is the live example. If z equals to function of x and y, z is depending on x and y, where x equals to r cos theta, y equal to r sin theta. See here, z is not directly depending on r and theta. Z is depending on x and y are depending on r and theta. So this type of functions are called composite functions. So prove that del z by del x whole square plus del z by del y whole square equals to del z by del r. See here, del z by del r. Now z is directly not depending on r and theta. Then how to find out? In that case, what I will do, I will differentiate del z by del x into del x by del r plus del z by del y into del y by del r, because x and y can be differentiated with respect to r. Same thing we can do, whatever I did for r, same thing we can do for theta. Here like this. See, del z by del r, directly we can't find out, so we will take help of the intermediate term. Intermediate terms were x and y. So del z by del x into del x by del r plus del z by del y into del y by del r. Now del z by del x, so we will write same because we don't have anything. But del x by del r we can find out because x equal to r cos theta. So del x by del r will be cos theta. Same del y by del r will be r sin theta was there, will be sin theta only. So del z by del theta same only, just in place of r we have put theta. Differentiating this, we got this. So ultimately del z by del theta is this. Put into in the question, according to the question we will put in RHS, and ultimately we will get our LHS. This is the proof. So this is very important, this total derivative. Questions are here. Like here, find the total derivative of u is equals to. Third question is incomplete. Fourth question, find the total derivative of u equals to this, where x equal to t, y equal to this, and z equal to t, and t equal to pi by 4. Total derivative means if I need to find out del u by del t, du by dt, then directly I can't find out. I need to take the help of x, y, and z. How I can take del u by del x into del x by del t plus del u by del y into del t plus del u by del z into del z by del t. So fourth question solution is this, like this. See. And x, y, z were given directly, so we can find out y and z value. After putting this, we got this. So this is total derivative, very important. Again, explanation is come here in this module. Numericals are more. So if you understand the concept, then numericals you can do yourself. That's it. So any doubt, you can ask. 3 topics today I have covered. First was indeterminate form. Second was partial differentiation, and third is total derivative. If any doubt, please ask me. Please ask if any doubt. And the left out portion is maxima and minima. Okay, good. If you are comfortable, can I start maxima and minima also? Or do you want in next lecture? In this module, I tell you the topics are left, maxima and minima, and the applications of maxima and minima, and Jacobian. Very important, Lagrange's multiplier. Definitely one question comes, maxima and minima out of maxima and minima. So tell me, any of you, I should continue or will we overdose, ma'am? Let it be like this. In the next lecture, you continue.
Ma'am, in next class, ma'am.
Next class. Okay, fine. Next class I will do. Okay. Any doubt till here? 3 topics I have covered. I will share right now with your group this PPT. Many problems are there. Please try to solve them. Concepts I have given you. If any doubt, anytime you are welcome. Through WhatsApp, mail ID, anywhere. If you want to contact me, you can do. Okay. So any doubt? No doubt. Okay, fine. Let me take the attendance. Only 6 students are there. Chandana, Mohammed, Puneet, Riya. Let me take the attendance. This Chandana S is different or this only? Chandana?
Chandana, yes, ma'am.
Same na? Okay. I think Abhijit was there. No, Chandana. Mohammed, Puneet, Rayad, Suman, Sumant. Mohammed Adnan is there, na? Mohammed Adnan Jamil? No, sorry, Mohammed Aya. Okay, fine. Rayad Ali. Rayad, EC 125 is the same?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.